Hi, in this video we'll be working on a practice exercise in Onshape, and for this exercise we'll be creating a coffee mug, and it'll look a little bit like this one that I've created earlier. It'll look similar to this mug. So it's a cylinder that's been hollowed out, and I've applied a fillet to the top edges here and added a rounded handle as well. Okay, so it looks similar to this. All right, and this will involve using a number of tools that we've learnt so far in this series. So we'll have to create sketches on different planes. We'll have to extrude, fillet, and there's a couple of other tools that we can use as well, like the shell tool and the sweep tool as well. All right, so for this practice exercise, I'd like you to pause the video now and have a go at this yourself and see how you would attempt creating a mug that looks like this. All right, and then resume the video to see how I've done it and if there's anything that you've done differently. Otherwise, if you haven't used these tools at all before, or you're not sure where to start, then you can continue playing this video right now. But otherwise, if you want to challenge yourself and have a go at creating this yourself from scratch, then pause the video now and then resume it when you've attempted creating your own mug. Alright, so let's get started. So what we'll do is start with the two-dimensional drawing by selecting a plane. And firstly, I'm going to draw the circle that's going to be the base of this mug. Alright, so I'm going to do that on the top plane. Alright, so I'll go to my new drawing here and I'll click on Sketch, and then I'll select the top plane. And we're going to draw a circle here that will then be extruded up to create a cylinder. So I'm going to create a circle using the center point circle. I'll start from the origin here, and I'm going to make this a diameter of 90 millimeters. So I'll just type in 90 and hit return. There we go, we've got a 90 millimeter diameter circle there. All right, click the green tick there. Now what I'll do is click on extrude, and I'll select that circle, and I'm going to extrude this up to a depth of 100 millimeters, just like that. All right, and I'll also name this while I'm here, and I'll just call it mug cylinder. So we'll start naming some of these different components here. So when we've got a few different components in this drawing, we know what's what. All right, now what we can do is hollow out this cylinder. So we can do that by selecting the shell tool. Okay, and select that top surface there of the mug. All right, so it's hollowed that out already, and we can specify the thickness of the mug wall. All right, so I'm going to make it 4 millimeters. Just increase that thickness a little bit, and then click on the green tick. All right, now as we can see, it's hollowed out, but we've got a flat surface on the top of this mug here. So if we wanted to smooth that out, we could use the fillet tool. All right, so select the fillet tool, and then we could select either one edge. I'm going to make this, because the thickness of the mug is 4 millimeters, I'm going to set the radius to 2 millimeters. And I'm going to select that edge, which I already have, and the outside edge, and I'll also select the inside edge of the mug wall. All right, so the outside edge and the inside edge are both selected and set to 2 millimeters radius for this 4 millimeter thick mug. All right, so now it's got a nice smooth edge on the top there. Okay, next thing to do would be to create the handle for the mug. So if we were to draw the handle on the right work plane, so let's say we wanted to have the handle coming out on the right hand side here. If we were to draw the handle on the right work plane, the handle would actually be in the center of the mug. We can see that the right work plane here actually cuts through the center of the mug, and we don't want the handle coming out of the center. So what we'll need to do is create an offset plane. So we can use that right work plane, but create another one that's offset from that and is on the side of the mug. All right, so select the right work plane, got that selected, and then you can right click on it. Oops. right click on that right work plane and click on offset plane. All right, now for this mug, before I set the diameter to 90 millimeters. So the diameter of this mug is 90 millimeters. So that means we're going to have to offset half of that amount. So I can offset 45 millimeters to the right side there. All right, and we can give this a name. We'll just call it mug handle plane. Click the green tick. All right, there we go. So we've just offset the right work plane, created a new offset plane, 45 millimeters, which is now on this right-hand side of the mug. And if we look in the front view, we can see it's lined up nicely right there on the edge of the mug, which is perfect. All right, because that's where the handles are going to come out from the mug. And if we want, we can click on this plane and just resize it a little bit. All right, and now we can start creating the handle. All right, so to create the handle, we can click on the mug handle plane and start creating a new sketch. And for this, we might want to go into the right-hand side view. So click on the right view, and we can, if we wanted to create a round handle, like we've got in this example here, what this is made up of is it's made up of a circle at the top here and a circle at the bottom of the mug here, and then we just create an arc to sweep that circle around to create that 3D handle. All right, so looking here, working on the mug handle plane, that offset plane, and in the right hand view, we can create a couple of circles, one near the top and one near the bottom of the mug. All right, so I'm going to use the center point circle tool here, and I'm going to create, and I'll just make sure it's snapped to this center line here. I'll create a circle up here, and I'm going to set that to 12. Let's type in 12 millimeters for the diameter, and I'm going to create another one maybe around about here, and again that'll be 12 millimeters. All right, you can position the handle wherever you like, but I'm going to have it somewhere near the top, somewhere near the bottom, just like that. All right, I might actually undo that last one, just move it down a little bit further, about here. Ooh, maybe a little bit higher. All right, so 12 millimeters, there we go. All right, so we've got two circles there lined up on this mug handle plane. Okay, just click the green tick. All right, now if we look at that, we can see we've got two circles there in this 3D view. We've got two circles there on the side of the mug. All right, so now let's go and create the handle path. So it's going to be an arc swinging out here that we're going to use to sweep the handle. All right, and we can do that using the 3-point arc tool. So to do this, we'll flip around to the front view, and we'll select our front plane to create a new sketch. All right, and go and get the 3-point arc tool. And when we mouse over the edge of the mug here, we can find the center points of those circles. So all we need to do, and we can do this in a 3D view as well, we just click the center of that circle there, and then the center of this circle here, and then move the mouse out to swing the arc out to create a handle, or the path for the handle. But it might be easier in the front view, just so that we can see how big that handle is going to be. All right, so you can create a small handle or a big handle. Just going to create a handle probably about there. All right, click the green tick. There we go, we've got an arc swinging out there. All right, so we're almost there. We've got our arc that's created out from the edge of the mug, and I'm going to actually just rename this and call it mug handle path. So it's a good idea to give these different components names, just so we can remember what they are later on when we've got a long list of different components here. Okay, next step is we're going to have to sweep to get that arc that we've created and use these circles to sweep and make a 3D handle there. All right, so let's go to the sweep tool, which is up here. All right, we'll actually just make sure nothing's selected first. Click on the sweep tool, and we're going to create a new solid sweep. So we'll click on faces and sketch regions to sweep. Start by selecting the first circle. All right, and then while we're selecting faces, we can select the bottom circle, and then click on sweep path, and we're going to use that arc that we created earlier for the path. So we'll click on that. All right, now you might have a little problem here. If you'll see that sweep 1 that's being created goes red, and if you mouse over it, it says sweep 1 did not regenerate properly. Boolean operation failed to return valid path. So just make sure that you're not on add. Just make sure that you're on solid and new. So click new, and that should fix that problem up. Okay, and that's it. So we've got the two faces selected, the two circles, the top and the bottom circle, and then we've got the sweep path selected, which is this arc from the top circle to the bottom circle. That's it. Click on the green tick, and there you go. We've got a handle for our mug. All right, now what we can also do is give these this mug a color or change its appearance. So I've got three parts here. We've got the mug and we've got the handle. I'm going to select all of them. Just hold down Shift and select 1 to 3, and right click. And you can do two things here. You can click on Edit Appearance. You can either individually or select them all in one go, and you can pick a different color if you like. I'm going to go with this color here, and you can actually also right click on them. Oops, make sure everything that you want selected is selected. You can right click, and you can also click on Assign Material as well, and you can choose from a number of different materials here. And this is actually quite handy for later because you can use this for testing analysis. So if you select a material like, for example, porcelain, you can use this later on for testing. It can test different calculations based on that material. All right, so you can see it's got density, different properties here that'll be useful later on for testing. Anyway, that's it. So that's my mug there, and that's, I might actually hide part 2. You can see there's 3 parts here. Let's hide part 2 because part 3 is the actual handle that we really want to see there. All right. Anyway, that's how you create a coffee mug in Onshape. Thanks for watching.